Good morning. What's going on, everyone? It's Friday. We get the holiday coming up, so be careful this weekend trading wise. All right. I haven't looked at the charts yet today, so let's pull them up and see what we got. Honestly, it's not looking good. Okay. I don't even know if we're gonna get a bounce. Honestly, I'm tempted to short here, even if it's just a small position. And then I can ladder if we pop. But anyway, so we're at support, right? This is the support I expected to be touched this week. I think I mentioned in my last video. So we dropped down and tapped it again, and then we bounced. But I just see this increased selling volume here down to support. And then absolutely no reaction at support. So, I mean, you'd expect us to drop. Obviously, we don't have to. Okay, but you look at our OBV, we're already making a new low. We got this bull flag breakout, fake out, and we drop back below. So, and you can see here, really not too much volume, okay, on the weekly to support that either. So, top goon X is in the pullback zone, which we still pulled back. We haven't crossed through yet to, bullish momentum territory quite yet, sorry. So, we'll keep an eye on that. If we go to the 3-day, the on-balance volume looks terrible. Honestly, this looks really bad. Okay, look, here we got a pretty clear breakdown, right? This looks like a descending triangle and breakdown, retest. I mean, it doesn't really get more clear than that as far as I'm concerned. Holy hell, what did I just push? Okay, sorry. So then if we look here at this diagonal, okay, so if we somehow did break up here, I would short this diagonal. But honestly, I'm kind of just starting to see some weakness, and the last few weeks I've been saying this, I've been shorting because I don't want to miss out on, I don't want to get lulled to sleep. I don't know why I clicked that. I don't want to get lulled to sleep, waiting for a bounce up to here, okay. And this is what happens a lot of times on these big moves is you're sitting here waiting for this, and you just get this. And everyone's just stuck on the sideline because it happens so fast. And I'm not going to say we're going to drop down to 7,500 right away. Okay, so don't look at that, at those, where I put those. I just drew them like that. But that's what happens a lot, you guys. You get lulled to sleep, and we miss out on these big moves. Because you can't, you don't chase. Well, some people do, but you're not going to chase. If this starts dropping, we're not going to just chase it down here. So I'm kind of thinking I just need to start laddering some shorts here soon. If we look at ETH real quick, let's look at the ETH weekly. And I can zoom into lower time frames here shortly, but I just kind of want to take a zoomed out look. So we've got a breakdown and retest on ETH, OBV. And again, increasing sell volume down to support. 3-day on balance volume looks really weak. Okay. I mean, this just looks like it's ready to roll over. So let's see what else we got. And then obviously, we're in a downtrend. Okay. We have uptrend broken. We got a retest here. If I just draw my fibs, I expect 195 on on Ethereum, pretty much, especially as soon as the 236 breaks, it's a gimme that we're going to drop there. But you can see we retested the 236 already. Okay, so now all we need to do, and we're just kind of like really just hanging by a thread here. We're just not seeing any buyers come back in right now. So yeah, we could get some scammy crap, right, where we go up. You can call it scamming, you can call it whatever you want, but we can get that little pop. It's low volume. It's going to be a low volume holiday weekend. So we can definitely get that, but do I want to bank on that for a trade? I don't think so. I think I'm ready to just enter a low leverage short here, keep a wide stop loss. If I get stopped out, I can go higher leverage up higher. I can play it a little bit bigger up higher. But I think we're at the point where we just need to get the hell back into a position. We've been shorting this forever. 92.50 and above was my short zone, and I didn't take it. So I'm kind of regretting that, and now I'm thinking I just need to get in because I think a lot of people miss that waiting for 9,300s, kind of like I did. And I haven't been greedy lately, and I've just been laddering, but for whatever reason, I got in my mind that everyone's saying we could go to 9,500. I started believing it and missed out. So nobody else to blame but myself on that one, you guys. So I'm not blaming anybody. All right, so yeah, let's go back to Bitcoin. Okay, that 3-day, obviously, just the on-balance volume is very, very poor. All right, that's not good. That's not a good look. I mean, if you go back and look at Bitcoin 6K, we had this pop, broke down. I think it was Goomba that said it looked like 6K today. And then when I saw this, I was like, damn, it really does. With the OBV anyway, on the 3-day. So we got that big spike, then we dropped to like 11K, went back to 14K, I think, or we went to 6K. I can't remember. We went down to 6K, up to 11K, and then we just got stuck in this range before we bled out, and then and we just died hard. Okay, so daily, let's see how the daily looks. And first thing I notice is not quite an engulfing because, you know, you got to engulf the wick too, but pretty much a bearish candle. The only saving grace here is we barely held this wick. If we wouldn't have held that wick, we probably would just dropped straight down today, to be honest. Ethereum, looking a little bit of the same. Okay, we got a high volume sell-off, which is not good. If we get this strong, if we get a buy volume here and then a stronger sell-off, it's not a good look, okay? You would want to see lower volume coming in because you want your push and your pull to be equal or stronger depending on which direction you're going. Well, our push down is stronger than our pull up right now from what I'm seeing. So that's not a good sign. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Top Goo next in the top zone. Okay, we're starting to see decreased momentum here. Look at our 6H. Okay. God, this just looks bad. I mean, we could definitely rock it up out of here somehow, but I really don't see it. Look at this. This is looking weak as hell. I don't know where I'm going to draw my trend line. Maybe there. I don't know. But I'm just thinking, like, this just looks like a drop, a flag, a drop, retest, and it wants to drop again. You know, I don't want to get overly bearish, obviously. You know, too biased on anything. But good grief, this just does not look good to me. You're seeing, like, breakdown, retest. The OBV is just looking weak, you guys. It's just everything's pointing down right now. Obviously, feel free to ask any questions, you guys, on chat, on YouTube. But we have a clear breakdown here. Okay. We don't have a retest of that yet. Or, you know, if we pull this up here. Let's see. So we have like a breakdown and then a retest fake out. So that could have been it, honestly. I don't know why I didn't short at 91.50 yesterday. That was original in a short target, but again, I longed up to 9100-ish and then closed. It's hard to say when you chop sideways for so long, you guys, what exactly is going to happen. But Top Goon X really showing some downward momentum right now. Okay. We don't really have any divergences. We could say that, you know, we had this like breakdown, this local breakdown, retest, and then we just kind of drop off here. 1H OBV is obviously breaking down. So I don't really see any issues with taking a low leverage short here. You know, you could throw your stop loss up. I mean, there's a lot of wicks up here, so maybe we could get one more little wick up here to take some of these out. But I just don't see anything super bullish right now, other than maybe some low volume weekend pump that's just going to be like straight up, and then we'll just, it's going to be like, if it happens, it would literally probably be just a straight line up. Like, I don't expect it to be like any consolidation thing or anything healthy. I literally think it's just going to be like something like that. Okay, you like the sound effects? All right. It just looks bad, you guys. I don't know what else to say. Let's see what else we got. 30-minute bearish divergence. The only reason I didn't short yesterday is really because this double bottom here. Okay. You got kind of a double bottom here. And double bottoms, you want to see lower volume on the double. So we got that. and obviously held the support. But this just looks like, I'm just trying to find. Oh, I mean, this just looks like a resistance retest almost at this point with how we kind of crawled up here and then rejected, and now we're just kind of crawling down. All right, and then we could consider this a hangman at the top here. I like it better than. So I saw somebody point out yesterday like a hanging man down here. I don't like hanging mans down here as much as I do like up on something. So like now that we had a little trending and then we get a hanging man, I like that a little bit better. Let's see, a small little volume coming in. But hanging mans are bearish. A lot of people think they're bullish. When they're in an uptrend, they're pretty bearish. Let me see if I can find one. This isn't quite to the effect of that one, or isn't quite like that one, but I'll explain this real quick. So basically what happens is, and there is usually you get like a high volume drop. Okay, let me get, so hanging man, right? Here's the candle. We'll say this is the candle, okay? So that candle at one point, and my wick's, oh, it's gonna be right in the middle, sweet, okay. So here's my upper wick. So at one point, that candle went up here, wick back down, so this is where it opened, right? So it opened and went up, came back down, it went up and it was green, obviously, for a minute, for however long. It went back down, okay? And then it dropped, and usually this is probably some higher volume drop, okay? So it dropped to create this lower wick here. So we'll say right here, okay? And usually, like I said, those are lower volume, okay? Or sorry, usually it's higher volume drop, okay? So we probably break up. A lot of times you'll pop up like right at the beginning of the open, just to, you know, make people FOMO in on the candle open. So you'll get people to FOMO in, you'll pop up, and then you'll see a quick sell volume come in, right? And you usually see it, it'll probably be like, boom, really quick. So you'll get this up here, and then boom, and then you drop, okay? And you get some strong selling, and all the seller volume come in up here is not a good sign. And then the market kind of loses interest. You know, nobody else wants to short that low. Some traders and scalpers are taking profit, and then you get those people that are buying the dip, quote unquote. You get the dip buyers, and the people that don't know what they're doing, and price will just kind of go ding, 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 boo-doo, you know, kind of hang out in here. Nobody's really interested. There's not too much volume because people are waiting up here to reshort that, all right? Or scalpers that took profit here are waiting to add, or whatever, people that got in partially here. Anyway, a million different things. So then the market slowly gets some buyers to start taking price back up to where people want to load up. Ding, 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 ding. All right. And now we get this looking candle. So maybe even like this. That's a hanging man. And it's usually low volume on the way back up. On this wick, it's usually low volume, okay, on the way back up. So remember that. And then what'll happen is people will be like, oh, man, I should have bought that dip. You know, they think it's bullish. And then all the short sellers come back up here, and all the people that want to get back in their shorts and whatnot, all the people that took some profit down here, the scalpers, traders, or, you know, intraday traders or whatever, and now they all reshort because they got back to their level, okay? And then you see what happens here as we drop. So that's kind of an explanation of a hanging man. You see a little bit of volume coming in right now, so we could be getting a pop to, you know, get some of that liquidity up here. And it's just such an obvious stop loss, right? Like if I entered right here, where am I going to put my stop loss? Right here, right? Somewhere above these, maybe above those candles, maybe above these wicks. So could we potentially pop up there? Of course we could. Could we pop up here, drop down? Let's see. Could we go up here, drop down? Yeah. Could we go to the 99 SMA at 91.80, drop down? Yeah, that would probably be an ideal short. And the reason I would want to take that is, and the reason I'd be interested is because, so there's no volume on this candle, right? This one has no volume, so I'm not too interested in that. And I'm pissed I didn't short that on the 1H because it closed below here. And I knew it at the time. Oh, man, that was a tough one because I saw the 1H close right below that, and I said, oh, shit, we're going to drop. And I didn't take it, and we just freaking, we tanked. That sucked. Anyway, so that one doesn't, and it was low volume, which is why I was a little hesitant to short. But this candle formation is usually bearish, so like a weak push, a little hanging man here, and then a stronger sell-off. We just didn't get that stronger sell-off. If it would have hit my stronger sell-off, I would have gone high leverage. It would have been a really high reward play, or low risk, high reward play, or high probability play. We didn't get that though, unfortunately, so I missed out. But heading back here, so this is the high volume candle, right? High volume breakdown. So here's my level of interest right here. Okay, which just so happens to be right next to my 99 SMA. Weird how that works out, right? Okay, and this is where I want to look for us to flip as support. So if we could flip this, all right, because that's a high volume breakdown, so there's a lot of interest there. So if we flip that, I'm going to expect that to be support. And that's pretty easy long for me to say, long that to, 9,300 or whatever. I would also probably match this here. See how that works out too? Okay. That would match this here, and we would break that downtrend, flip it, pop up. So pretty straightforward long. Can I long down here? I could. I'm not going to. Could I long down here? Like if I was going to long down here, I would obviously done it like right here. Okay. If I was longing here, I'm at resistance, so that's not a very good long. But I would put my stop right here, obviously, and then I would target up here, right? Like that's a pretty straightforward stop loss, right? But when we're in this chop, just like here, if you did the same thing here, when you're in this sideways chop, it gets hard to start putting these stop losses so tight because, we even got like a fake breakout, it looks like. Yeah, so we never actually broke out, but we got this wick up here, which is why we wait for the closes, and then we broke down. And now these stop losses were all hit, and if you put your stop loss here, it was hit. And even if you put your stop loss down here, even with this candle bodies, it was hit, okay? Or even at the bottom of this candle. So we got a big stop hunt here, and now we're going to the upside. And we haven't really seen any upside stop hunt yet. Okay, it doesn't mean we need to, but it may be like a little bit of a stop hunt here like this. Like legit, if you put your stop loss right above that wick, you would have gotten wicked out, or right at the top of that, you would have just barely gotten wicked out before a big drop if you were short. So, we kind of took some liquidity down here. There's a lot of downside liquidity here taken. So would it make sense to take a little bit of upside liquidity? Yeah. So if I was really wanting to get into a good short, I would want to wait for up here higher. Will I get that? Who knows? So that's why you can kind of ladder, right? And you can say, I want my average entry to be 91.48. Let's say that. So then I can go, instead of entering all at 91.48, I can enter like 25% here. Let's say I could enter 25% here. And then I could enter 50% there, and then I could even enter 25% up here. And if I did the math, all of that would equate to my average total entry being 91.48. Okay. And then that keeps me from getting stopped out right here because I could actually put my stop loss a little bit higher. So if I entered all in right here and I put my stop loss up here and got wicked out, that would really suck. And so for risk management purposes, I could put, like if I enter all in here and I put my stop loss up here, I've got higher risk, right, on this whole position. Whereas if I put only 75% in and I put my stop loss up here, it would be obviously less risk. I don't use, standard laddering techniques necessarily like that. But if you're looking to ladder, that's how you do it. Okay. I'm going to get going here soon, you guys. I'll get another couple minutes in here for you. Let's see, what else? So obviously if you're looking to ladder some shorts, this isn't a bad idea even here. We could just fall off a cliff. Let's go down to like the 15-minute chart. It's just not looking too great. These signals are in this zone, so excuse me. So we need to be careful, okay, whenever we're in this upper zone. We need to be careful of divergent signals. Let's look at the 5-minute. Not like that matters for us really right now. But OBV-wise on the 5-minute is pretty strong. So we could potentially expect like a nice little pop here in price. All right, I'm just going to go to the 1 minute for fun because everyone loves 1 minute charts. And I don't really get any clear signals from Top Goonex. Usually on the 1 minute charts, I mostly just look at Top Goonex because it works out really well. It's looking just a little bullish here, so we could still get another pop. But we do have some strong sellers coming in. We break that, though, we're going to fly, a nice couple, 1 and 2% at least, especially on ETH. What else we got? Let's see. Yeah, it's just really hard to short this, you guys, right now, unless I just want to do a small ladder. If I want to, let's see, that breaks my rules, so I can't draw that. There's no clear trend line for me to really draw here, because if I draw any of these upper trend lines, it's going to break my rule set. So the only trend line I have that really is in effect right now is this one, but it's kind of at support, so it's really hard to gauge. But I do like these, where we get these these secondary tests of these trend lines, bink, and then drop down. So anybody that shorted here puts their stop loss up here somewhere. We sweep them, we make a new local high, right? So we make a new local high, everyone gets bullish. There's probably some bearish divergence there or something. We get that new local high and then we drop. So that's definitely a valid scenario. I definitely would not go all in on a short. Well, don't go all in anyway. But I wouldn't do a normal short size position here. I just can't do that. And over time, you guys, you're going to be more successful finding times when you can go bigger and not. So there's no criteria to go big here. So if I go small here and we drop, I still make some money, right? And if we drop hard, I still make some decent money. But over time, I'm more likely to get stopped out on these plays or lose money if I do large position sizes. So it's just not worth it to do a normal position size in a less than ideal area. And so if you're patient and you understand trading and risk management, you're going to start realizing and being smart about these things, and just realizing that if you were just patient, you would actually hit your mark. So like, even a lot of times, like, let's say this rejects. Let's say I went 50% in, right? I went 50% in, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be smart. I think it could go up. I'll add more here. And then it just drops here. Okay? This is why I say don't add on the way down. Don't dollar cost average on the way down. Dollar cost average on the way up. So if this goes up, you're going to dollar cost average into your shorts. If this goes down and I start FOMOing in and I say, oh God, these aren't going to fill. I need to add here. And you say, now you're 100% in on your position, your full position size. Your average entry is like 90, 85 now. And then we bounce up here to where your entry was. Now you're stopped out, okay? And then we go back down. So that'll happen to you guys a lot, all right? That's going to happen. So you got to be aware of that. And that's why we just patience. It's just all patience. I just feel like we're going to get a little pop here. And the next thing I would say, okay, the next piece of advice I will give you is you don't need to FOMO long here because you think we're going to go up. Because A, there's no risk to reward on a long right now. And B, I don't have a clear read on a long. Like, is there a long setup here? If there was a setup, I could take it. But there's, I think it might go up here, but I don't know how it's going to get there, right? Once it gets up here, I think it's going to go down or whatever. But I don't know how it's going to get up here. There's not like me entering a long right now just because I think it's going to go up here. What if it drops and it goes down to here, then back up to my target and then down? Okay, so I get those questions a lot in Discord, especially. I'll say, all right, you guys, I think it's, price is 9,100. I think we're going to see a quick pop up here to 9,200. And then I'm going to look to short that quick pop if we get a rejection or whatever. And people are going to say, okay, so are you longing to 9,200? What entry should I use? Blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't need a long to that because I don't know if it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then I would just flip bias and let's say, so I'm sitting here, so I want to short, right? Let's say on my 4-hour chart, I'm bearish and I want to short. Okay, this is an example. All right, I'm bearish on my 4-hour, I want to short, and I know that the downside pressure is here. So I'm in a long, and price goes like this, and I get stopped out, and then now I'm like sitting on the sidelines waiting because I just took a loss, and then we just go down to where I thought we were going to go, right? And I missed my short opportunity because I was in a long, got stopped out, whatever, all right? So I would draw out some scenarios. If I want to short, I'm just going to draw out some scenarios. So I would say, all right, I think I'm going to pop here and break down here. So I would short here. Or we could break down here, I get a retest, and then I'll short there. So that would be my two scenarios, and I would stick to my plan, and I would say, okay, so if we break down here, I'll short and retest, or if we break up here, I'll short a test, okay? And those are your scenarios. If I want a long, let's say I want to do a long, and I already drew that scenario, right? So I don't remember. I think it was here. So here's this. Okay, you guys remember this scenario. So this would be my long scenario. So pop, break, and go. So now that's going to say, all right, I need this criteria to meet if I'm in a long, and I need this criteria to meet if I'm in a short. Pretty simple, right? Nice and easy. Again, OBV is looking a little strong here, so we could potentially get a little push. If you look back at July of last year, because, you know, history always 110% repeats itself, right, you guys? Yeah, always. It's always the exact same. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so if you look at July 3rd last year, okay, so July 2nd last year, which was yesterday, we got this big drop, this bought back up, and then on the 3rd, we popped, nice little rocket here, and then we sold off on the next day, all right? Now, obviously, we made another high. We could still do that, but again, we're not going to follow that, you know, extremely. But I just like to look at what happens on other holidays and things and see, you know, what the sentiment was around that time and what price action did. So I wouldn't put it past us to get... Oh, let me make this... What color is that? White. All right, to get something like this and then just a sell-off, it would be really screwy of the market if they did this to us. This would be probably max pain scenario, kind of like we had last year that I showed. You know, a breakup, little drop, dwindle, pop, drop. Okay, so you got to be ready for all scenarios. I don't see us going past this 9,600 mark at all, really. And if we did, so you can see here too, we'd get some like, and I like this angle here, so I'm going with this. We would get like almost a bullish flip here, okay, like a bullish breakout, and we would look to buy a retest there. But for now, I see a breakdown, okay. And the one thing too, excuse me, the one thing too, I just don't really have like a retest here, you guys. So I'm just having a hard time really shorting right now. I don't have a retest of this breakdown, which I don't necessarily need one because I got a retest of my EMAs. All right, these are called Gunnar EMAs, you guys. Gunnar EMA. You can use it. It's public script. It's the 22 and the 11. I use it on all time frames, scalping, whatever. Excuse me. Okay, so if we get a retest here, that'd be awesome. This, I should have shorted this. I should have put in some shorts here and then had some other shorts sitting here. Because when we break down, sometimes we only retest the EMAs and drop. Sometimes we retest the trend line and drop too. Okay, or like sometimes, and don't look at this line, but sometimes like it'll be like this, and actually this is kind of valid. This is pretty valid trend line here, so damn it. This could definitely be the breakdown, and then we get this nice consolidation here and more breakdown with volume. So if we retest anywhere up here, what's that, 91.85, that level I showed earlier. If we retest this, it's almost worth just laddering in shorts, and if you really zoom out, if I start laddering in shorts here, okay, like up to here somewhere, it's not that big of a range if we really look at it. And then, so you adjust your position size, your leverage, this and that, et cetera, okay? And we're gonna retest this at some point soon, you guys. It's almost inevitable. Price is gonna be magnetized to this, all right? Strong magnet. I don't even know what these do. Oh, never mind. Weak magnet. No, turn it off. Okay, that just magnetizes. That gives you anchors and stuff. I've used that before. Okay, so we got this magnet here though, and it's almost inevitable. Okay, that this is gonna retest. So if you want to start laddering in shorts here, it's not the worst idea. And then you just need to make sure your risk exposure is there, and you're not going to get completely destroyed if you do short and we go up $400. You just got to be ready for that too. So can I do, an all-in short down here? No. Can I do an all-in short up here somewhere? Maybe if I had a really tight risk management and a really good entry. Okay. If my stop loss is 1.5% away from my entry, then yeah, I can do an all-in position, that's 1.5% on my portfolio. So if I go down here, that's the same thing as doing a smaller position from down here with 1.5% risk. So looks like 9100's holding a little bit. And honestly, sometimes I don't even like to zoom in. I just like to look at price here, and I can kind of tell what the market's doing just by watching the tickers, honestly, and seeing if supports are holding, where momentum's going, and whatnot. And so that's why it looks like 9100 is holding a little bit. And like I said, our low time frame on balance volume is pretty good. It's looking a little strong. Another thing that'd be nice is if we get some bearish divergence on this 1H. So this 1H is basically what I've been watching this whole time, and this is why I haven't been shorting, or this is why I haven't been swing shorting. Okay, this is why I've closed all my shorts. I've been shorting the bounces and closing it on the dips because of this uptrend. But you see, we're starting to get a downtrend now. So now all I need is some bearish divergence. Okay, so from here, which I really might not get it up to this top, but like if I can get it from this breakdown point, so here, right here's the breakdown. Okay, if I can get some bearish divergence here at all, okay, that'd be a good short for me. Nice, this strong 1H volume. It's good. That's a good strong volume to start with. Do we have a breakout here? Maybe. This is about as clean of a trend line as I could see here. So maybe we retest it down here at 90.96-ish. Pop up here, drop back down. Maybe we don't, maybe we don't reject here and we flip this and go up and go to 9300. So we have to be ready for that too. And also, so you guys, the 1H just opened, right? Look what's happening with this candle. Okay. We've got an hour left. All right. We've got 58 minutes left in this hourly, so I really don't care what it's doing right now, but it is retesting here. Okay. It's retesting this area. So this is like a lot of people FOMO right away. Look at that, 11:02. We're 2 minutes in. So this candle could be down here right now. And then in 20 minutes, it could be back up here. And in 45 minutes, it could be up here and be a nice, strong, big green candle, right? So don't buy in too much to what these do. So now I'm not going to force a trade. I'm not going to take a trade. But if I was looking for one, I would either put my stop loss here. I would probably do it here because this is a high volume candle compared to the other ones. So I don't want to see us lose that low. And I would just target like probably this high as a safe target. So if I was entering like a 10x long right now, it'd be a 1% risk, 1.1% risk with a 5.9% reward. Maybe a little bit higher even. I usually ladder out. You see these touches here. If we reach this area, we're likely going to pop at least a little bit higher to this top, and if not, actually sweep that high at least. So sure, I could take a long here if I really wanted to. I don't really feel like it right now. I'm gonna head out and do some errands here in a minute. But Top Good Next is saying maybe a little bit of continuation here. Pulling up a little bit. You could wait and see if they try to stop hunt these people, but at that point you're breaking down from that overall trend line. So you would really want to see, again, this is where you get those tight risk to rewards at. Okay, so this is basically what we need to see hold, and you see here it wouldn't have worked out for you, but also we didn't have very high volume. We have higher volume breakout now. So if you really wanted to, you could take out a long, all right, with a really tight stop. And target, 90. I mean, this would be our upside target. Would that be that breakdown? 91.96 to 91.84-ish. Okay. It's a little risky. I'm not sure yet exactly if I even want to ladder in shorts yet, or if I want to wait for a pop. I feel better about laddering in shorts if we broke this down and flipped it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, you guys. So if we broke this down and flipped it, pressure is definitely with the downside right now, I would say. Obviously, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Okay. I always like to look at Ethereum for, overall Bitcoin strength. This 4H is still holding up a little bit. We still had the bullish divergence on the 4H. And not the worst close on Ethereum for the daily. Could have been worse, which is why we obviously popped a little bit. Let's see. I don't know. I could just see us really testing this area. It just makes a lot of sense. And then we just drop. And if this area breaks, it's a pretty clean shot to probably 93.40s at least. So somewhere up here. Okay. Yeah, that's all I got for right now, you guys. Good luck. Enjoy your weekend, holiday weekend. Don't make too many big plans with Bitcoin. Honestly, you just never know what's going to happen in these times, all right? It's going to be a low volume. Anything can happen. My plan is probably at some point in the next 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, maybe sooner, to just start laddering in some small short orders. And if we get up higher, I can start, I'll hop back on the charts and actually look to get some big positions, some normal size positions in. But the risk just isn't there for me to take a big short right now. So I just got to wait and be a little patient here and see what happens. All right, but it's always nice to have a little bit of exposure, right? So I can take a small loss if I do like a 10%. If I get in with like 10% of my account and do like a 3% stop loss on that or whatever, 4% stop loss or something, or it's not a very large loss, so I can take that. As far as that long play we talked about, looks like you just got a nice little reaction at that support. So this is what I'm looking at here. So that would be my long play. I would keep this stop tight right below that. I don't care if you stop me out there. I'd rather get stopped out at, whoops, what did we have? We had like a 0.1. Okay, so I'd rather get stopped out at 0.1 than get stopped out at 0.4 or 0.25. So I like tight risk. I like, this 8-to-1 play right here. Okay, if we go lower, it's 5-to-1 or 6-to-1. I like these plays, and I get stopped out 2 or 3 times, and I win one, and I'm still like up double. So nothing wrong with that. All right, guys, that's all I got. I saw a question real quick. I'm never short or long, but this info is still gold as it helps me get better grasp of reading the charts. Oh yeah, of course. I'm glad to help. MACD, do some indicators such as MACD, OBV, etc. work better on certain time frames? Yeah, I mean, OBV is going to be a little unreliable on the 1-minute chart, okay? The higher your time frames, the less easy it is to fabricate something, all right? So, yes, I definitely take heavy into account high time frame OBV and volume. Volume usually precedes price. Right now, you just see this big drop here, okay? So, yeah, high time frames obviously more important. MACD I don't use, but I definitely would say that I know swing traders that use it, and a lot of times use it on 1 day, 3 day, and weekly. So MACD I would definitely use on higher time frames. You could probably even get away with it on the 4-hour, but I don't use that. RSI I like on daily, weekly. I don't really use it on any other time frames. I don't really use it much anymore anyway. As far as Top Goon X goes, I use that on the 1 minute through the 30-minute religiously. Like it's basically all I do. It's all I use on the low time frames. I'll use Top Goon X and price action and call it good. So yeah, this is what we got, you guys. Pretty straightforward here. We're just kind of waiting. This would be perfect, double sweep here too. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably start laddering some shorts at some time though. I probably won't go too heavy. I don't usually use full position sizes on the weekends anyway, even if I do get a good entry, just because you get the weekly close and a million other things, low volume. It's just so unpredictable. But hey, long play would be working out a little bit right now. We got a little ways to go though. So then when you do have a trade, you get an entry, then you want to start looking at, you want to counter trade yourself basically in your mind, and you want to start looking for reasons why it's not going to work. So if you just start looking for reasons why it's working, then you're just going to want to keep holding even if it goes down, okay? But the big thing here is this is the key right here. That is the key, okay? So expect a little bit of upside. Give me some bearish divergence here or something. I'll look for a short. But anyway, so I did enter a really tiny long on my other screen here just while we were doing that, just for the hell of it. Let me see what it's up right now. So it's up 0.8%. Nice. Huge gains, you guys. So I could actually take profit right now on that, and my fees are only 0.4%. So, I'd be up a few bucks. 100 or so bucks. So not too bad. All right, just took a little small one for the hell of it while we were talking on here. But anyway, that's all I got, you guys. I'm going to get going now. Stay tuned for updates, obviously, on Twitter. Please subscribe to YouTube. Please retweet these videos on Twitter. That really helps me grow some subscribers and helps me get more video content out there. Check out, I know you guys all right now that are in here are in the Discord, or most of you anyway, but check out, Elevate trading.com if you guys want more in-depth insight daily from me. And always on Twitter. Feel free to ask questions too. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend.